I'm Clyde Lewis, and we're here at ECETI. If you notice the bed head, it's because I rolled out of bed about 6 this morning because it was just a lot of energy here in the vortex. We are here to actually do some exploration. My film crew and a number of other people, Michael Knight and of course James Gilliland, are here, and we've been experiencing some interesting things. In fact, last night we were out on in the Field of Dreams. And while we were there, we saw probably about 4 or 5 really good UFOs. Some of them were, kind of, speculative as what they might be. And but we saw some really good bona fide UFO shots.
Oh wow, it's totally powering up. Whoa, whoa, check it out.
UFOs are here all the time. They're seen by a lot of people. People from all over the world come here. Also, we attended a seminar, and we had an opportunity to actually meet a few people, a lot of listeners that were here. The Encounters UFO group is here, and a new group that is here. This is some fascinating stuff. This is a book, and it's actually with a Japanese crew called the ECETI team. We're going to be talking with them coming up as well. So be sure and stay with us because we're going to be interviewing a few people and asking them questions about what's going on up here. For those of you that don't know, Mount Adams is the area where Kenneth Arnold, the famous pilot, who flew over the Cascades, he flew over Mount Adams, and there is where he saw 9 flying discs or flying objects that he didn't identify. And he told the media, he said, well, they skip around the air like a saucer on water. And that's where the term flying saucer was coined.
Right here we've seen something, I've seen something, hundreds of pilots have seen something in the skies. We have dutifully reported these things. And we have to have 15 million witnesses before anybody's going to look into the problem seriously? Why, this is utterly fantastic. This is more fantastic than flying saucers or people from Venus or anything as far as I'm concerned.
I got him. Come on. You can do it. There it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes. Look at that. Woo! Got it. Look at that. Boom. You got him.
We're standing here in front of Mount Adams. This is where it all happens, in the Field of Dreams, where we all gather here at night to see the lights in the sky, some remarkable UFOs that happen. In fact, during the seminar, there was a lot of footage that was gathered together that we have been watching, and it's just some amazing stuff. With me is Don Anderson, who is head of Encounters. They're a UFO group here in the Northwest. And Don, so when you come out here, what do you expect to see? And not only that, but why don't you tell us a little bit about the rich history behind why this is such an important place for, I guess, people who are into ufology?
Oh, well, James himself has had a rich history of ufology as well, and he's done a lot of work on this land in many different ways to get it ready for this kind of an encounter group and encounter sessions that we have up here. So it's really awesome to be able to come up and see these people as they witness real UFOs in the sky. Mm-hmm. And it kind of takes away some of that, well, maybe it's not true, maybe it is true, and then they can see for themselves, like, yeah, it really is. There's stuff that happens up here, and UFOs are a real fact of life, and they can actually have physical representation of it in the sky.
I was standing in the Field of Dreams with a group of international observers when we first noticed the UFO. The experience was quite disorienting, and I needed some help pinpointing the UFO's location through the viewfinder. The UFO appeared to oscillate, moving above and below the tree line. Although this event resembled the rise of a celestial object in the night sky, the repeated oscillations and pulsations of multicolored light made it very difficult to determine what kind of star or planet this might be. Observers began seeing 2 UFOs, and we decided to change positions and began moving deeper into the field. Little did we know what would happen next.
It's a craft. You know what it is?
Awesome.
The UFO appeared to signal in response to the camera's flash.
We're here with well-known journalist John Kelly. I tell you, the name is very familiar to a lot of people who are involved with paranormal, know a lot about reverse speech and investigative reporting of all this stuff. John, you set up shop here at the ranch. How's the experience for you?
It's excellent. I love being here. The teamwork and camaraderie is fantastic, and the interactions that we experience with other dimensional beings is just so evident. So we really feel like we're beyond the threshold of denial, and we're into some truth through action here at the ranch, through sky watching, meditation, insight practices, gardening, farming, all the different lifestyle things that happen up here. It's incredibly invigorating and inspiring. It's one of the best places I know to visit.
Do you think your background at CBS has lended a little credibility to all this? Because it seems that when I was at the seminar earlier, it just, all of the footage and all the things I see have that quality to it that is just so, I think, what the people are looking for now. I mean, I think you're bringing a new dimension to this whole thing now, a little bit more, I guess, journalistic cred, if you will.
Well, I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to work with some very talented people in different areas of production and media and learn from those experiences. I had #1 rated television through CBS in Cleveland at one time. So because of that, because I have my finger on the pulse of the American public, and I've done so for years, I've basically brought those lessons to any of the media production work that I do. And even if my work now is still only on a grassroots level, you know, YouTube and casting online, the fact is that you know, those lessons were hard won and very expensive to get all that backing at that time. It was an excellent learning environment, and so yeah, I brought those lessons here.
You are actually, I think, at the forefront at the ranch, to be honest, where you're bringing technology and spirituality together in a way, and you're using all kinds of new materials. What new materials are available for the UFO hunter or for the one who's seeking? I mean, for here, it's a spiritual experience. That's why I say technology and spirituality come together here because of what you're doing. But there are people who are amateurs who are getting like little blotches and things. But you're getting clear orbs, clear pictures, undeniable proof. How do we get this to be carried over? I mean, you're starting something. We just say, well, they're always blurry. Not in your case.
I'm using digital night vision systems now, which focuses on affordability and accessibility, stuff that can be transported over international borders, but stuff that will do a great job. The scope that I use for most of my movie making is called the Pulsar Recon X550, and that's a high sensitivity scope. It's like a celestial observatory really in your hand, and you can use it in the city or the country. You can see far, far deep into space, and you can sense objects.
I really want you to tell us where we can find this technology, because I know that you have it, I know that you do instructional videos, I know that you're really, I mean, you're really doing a great job at getting people turned on to this. So where do we go to see you in action? Where do we go to hear about your technology recommendations and all these things for people who really want to get involved and are serious?
You know, I have a lot of material online through my website, yourinnervoice.com. My YouTube presence, you can look me up, John Kelly, Jon Kelly, K-E-L-L-Y on YouTube, or Secret Message TV. There's a channel there with almost 1 million views on it now. Lots of material and continuing to produce material there. People want quotes or consultation on optics, specifically just write to me at optics@yourinnervoice.com or call 1-888-453-0751.
Okay, we're going to put the number up and we're going to get that out there, because I was at the seminar, I saw what you did, I was excited, I didn't have the money, you almost had me forking out $500 for a night vision camera. It was just amazing, and I know that you have that low price one for under $200. So if you really want to start small, you can start as low as under $200 for something that will get you results, something that you'll see and something you'll have proof for. No longer can we make the excuses that we have blurry UFOs. We've got some pretty nice footage that we saw at the seminar, that we saw out here, right here at ECETI. So
I'm looking forward to meeting all those new UFO videographers who are going to come out and take advantage of this opportunity. It's a great time to be involved in night vision, and it's a great time to be involved in UFO content.
そういう吸い込んだ情報、やっぱりちょっと立て直さないといけない。日本地球がこういう会を。
こういうのがあるの？
ECETI、はい。
そのセンターの人。はい。センター長もしかして。センター長？ Wow!
Greg Sullivan's with me here at ECETI Ranch. We're so glad to have him with us. In fact, it's a remarkable story that he has to tell about his interest in UFOs and NEOs and how it took him to Japan. And now you're a big TV superstar in Japan, aren't you? So tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey, unexpected journey for sure. Some people call me the Hobbit. It's like I was there and back again.
And then this was labeled the Kanto meteorite, and it got almost 1 million views in one day. Take a look at this. This was on a taxi drive recorder on the dashboard of a taxi in the middle of the night in Saitama Prefecture. And the camera is pointed in the direction to where we were, which was Chiba Prefecture. And you'll just see what happened in this kind of big, really interesting incident. Right about now, yeah. So we had one of these enormous alleged meteors, and the pop flash there, as it goes by, it lights up the entire area of this parking lot, and that flash pops.
A lot of people think that this whole UFO thing is an American phenomenon. How are the Japanese accepting this?
Yeah, they're very open to it, and I mean, obviously they have the society, the naysayers and the negative opinions that all societies share in some ways, but they have the tools to understand this through their early philosophies like Shinto and Buddhism is very cosmic in its philosophy. So the idea is once you present them in a non-threatening way or without fear, the kind of groundwork is already there for them. So.
このオレンジ色のちっちゃいやつ、ちょっと一回電気してもらっていい？
点滅します。点滅してるものありました。
これやろ。
The whole contact experience in Japan is a low-level phenomenon. A lot of activity in the sky, but even more on the ground. The ground lights phenomenon is where we experience a whole lot. So even if it's cloudy, we have a high rate of contact on a low-level field.
Have you made the connection at all between the volcanoes and the UFOs in Japan and the fact that Mount Adams is a volcano and also Mount Shasta and all these other places that are hot UFO spots?
Definitely, yeah. It seems like they can use the calderas in those spaces inside, and it seems like they're stationed there for sure, yeah.
Some very interesting things. Well, Greg Sullivan's with us from ECETI. It's amazing. He just translated, actually, Contact has begun the video into Japanese. And of course, we saw the book. I demonstrated the book earlier in the video. So, Greg, great work.
Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
We're here with Misako. She's come all the way from Japan to be here at ECETI, of course, part of the ECETI group. So do you feel now, being a contactee, that you're going to be able to spread the word better and you'll be able to express yourself better and more people will be able to experience what you experience?
このContactによって日本に帰ってまたいろんな人にこう伝えできる力、
Of course.
Yeah.
So this is really a great moment for you.
Yeah.
Yes, fantastic moment. Well, fantastic. It's good talking with you.
Yeah,
I hope my audience can feel your enthusiasm and know that right here is where you have these experiences, and coming all the way from Japan, that's remarkable as well.
We have an interesting point. She's also involved with the hemp groups in Japan. She's working a lot with that, so that's been a big thing here with the
fantastic. That's awesome.
The Washington.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much.
When James Gilliland built his country home 15 years ago, he had no idea it sat in the middle of a flight path.
A ship came right in over this field and right in the middle of the field, powered up and just lit the whole field up.
But whoever or whatever flies overhead near the base of Mount Adams is open for debate.
Okay, here he is. See how dim he is? Yeah. Look, he powers up, boom, takes off.
He just put on the afterburners.
So that's not a satellite, you know, that's not a meteor.
James and the hundreds of others who frequent his 70-acre property 12 miles from the mountain believe wholeheartedly the luminous lights shown here.
See, it's going through the clouds, underneath the clouds.
Are extraterrestrial.
The universe is filled with life, you know, it's intelligence, interdimensional, it's everywhere.
8 years ago, James first noticed the odd phenomenon, and since then, he's taped 15 hours of video. In his nonchalant manner, he recounts incredible stories.
So what's the closest you've ever seen one?
Face to face.
What's the closest you've ever seen a ship, I mean?
A ship? I've been on them twice.
Here with James Gilliland of ECETI. You know, this year, a remarkable year, coming here, I just was so impressed. Now you have seminars that you do, workshops, meditation, all these things. What is the full experience here at ECETI that people need to come and experience when they come here?
Well, there's such a wide variety, as you said, of experiences that people can have when they come here. Some people come and camp and just get out in nature, and they come out on Skywatch and watch the show that we all saw last night with the UFOs powering up and turning and doing all kinds of crazy things. But they also can have a transpersonal release session where we go through past life and birth trauma and things like that and clear people and connect them into their own, you know, higher consciousness and energy. There's such a variety of things going on, being a vortex, that the veils are very thin here and people can have their own experience.
My videographer was saying that when we were at the seminar and you were showing what looked like it was a vision of the Virgin Mary that was caught on film. And he said he was very impressed because it was on a screen and you were showing it and his video camera saw the face and started focusing in on it on its own, because it's like it saw it picked up the facial features of this vision. And I'm like going, that's amazing that it was able to electronically say, that's something in the room. So that's amazing.
But I'm going to leave this on here. Stare into this picture for a second. I mean, nothing's moving, but watch it. Can you feel some energy coming off of it? Now, do you see it moving? It actually starts moving. When you stare at it for a while, it starts moving, and it has an energy that comes with it. That's really interesting.
It's amazing that image did show up. There's so many visions and things that happen at this place. Would you consider this place like a vortex? It's an open window to probably beings that come and go here, and also with the orbs and the other things people see. I mean, that's what this is, isn't it? It's a vortex.
Yeah, it's a vortex, and it's a place where people, I always say this is ECETI is where debunkers come to die, you know, because
that's about right.
They can't argue with what's happening here when they see the footage and the overwhelming footage, and then they have their own experience. You know, they can't argue with it anymore, but they still try from afar. You know, there's armchair investigators that won't even come out here and look at the evidence and see what's going on. But you know, it's sad because, you know, like Einstein said, condemnation without, you know, investigation is the height of ignorance, and we see that displayed openly on a regular basis.
Has a profound effect. I wish you knew.
Come on down. Come on down.
Yeah. Because honestly, James made a difference, and it's a holistic connection. Very curious one.
Yeah, this orb is hovering right over the group there.
I think it likes Teresa's singing.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's on their schedule, basically. It's very arrogant of us to say, okay, I'm coming here, you will show up at 10 p.m. while I have my camera here.
Right, exactly.
You know, you have nothing else to do. You know, you're this vast interdimensional being who has absolutely nothing else to do than to fit into my schedule, you know.
Right.
And it just doesn't work that way, but I know when you reach a certain level of consciousness and you do your practices, they find you.
Is the frequency increasing? I mean, are we seeing more visitations now, or are we seeing less visitations now?
Well, it's increased exponentially, and the whole Earth there's ships appearing all around the world right now, and contacts happening around the world, and I always warn people, you know, be careful of somebody saying that they're the only true prophet of God or the only contactee, because it's happening everywhere, and you know, the people that are having contacts, you know, if you want to call them the chosen ones, are the ones who chose. You know, they chose to wake up and engage this and investigate it.
Well, and speaking of contacts all around the world, the video Contact Has Begun is available. You can get it at prepareyourgroundzero.com. That's prepareyourgroundzero.com. And in the video, you'll get to see some of the stuff that happens here at ECETI. What would they expect what do they expect to see in this video? I mean, I know it's been out for like a year or so.
Yeah, it's an incredible video. The special effects and things that they have in the video of the near-death experience, and talking about the different dimensions and everything, and showing the different beings and the ships on there. It's just an amazing video the way it was put together, and I was amazed myself. I mean, I turned down huge offers from Hollywood to do this movie, and I found the right producers with no big fat check, just to make sure the message got out correctly and was done right.
On this planet of 6 billion people, there are 6 billion stories. This is one of them. It's about one man's life. It's about UFOs which he has filmed in the high heavens, and ETs.
Holy shit! That thing's huge!
It's a true story about a man who has come back from the dead to a planet that is undergoing dramatic Earth changes.
And now you have, not only do you have these producers, but John Kelly, who is a journalist, worked for CBS, is now here. He's a fixture here, constantly bringing in new video footage that is credible video footage. He's showing people how to get the best video footage here. We saw some of that seminar. How is John Kelly adding to this?
Oh, he's a great asset, because he's out in the field, you know, till the wee hours of the morning. And it used to be just me out there and maybe a couple other people. But he's out there with his equipment, and he's got 2 or 3 cameras on the object. So, and sometimes we'll have as many as 5 or 6 cameras all videotaping the same thing with sometimes, I mean, we've had over 200 witnesses out here with a big ship flying right over the conference building. You know, so the witnesses are there, the cameras are there. It's obvious these are UFOs. They're not ours. I mean, I've had NASA people here look at the footage and come.
Well, and you have the military flies
Yeah,
up here
yeah.
once in a while, basically ships,
Black
black helicopters
yeah,
and jets flying
yeah.
low. I mean, I remember there was jets flying so low here that you could see the pilots.
Yeah, yeah, you
it's
can
amazing.
see the pilots' faces. I got about 10 shots.
Yeah, so this place is a pretty hopping place for anybody who wants to have any kind of spiritual experience or UFO experience or orb experience. I mean, the paranormal is right here at ECETI, and James Gilliland is the man who runs this operation. It's an amazing place. You need to come out here whenever you can. Thank you so much, James, for being a part of this.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.